New. Hey, there we go. It's almost perfect. But for whatever reason, when I have to unplug and plug that back in, it's the only extra step. Don't know why. Shouldn't have to do it. Often forget to do it. But that should be the only thing left to figure out why. Weird. Okay, well, we got a truck. We're going to be doing all these sides and rear, 20% on the front, and then we're going dark. We're doing 5 over the factory on the back. Nice and new. Very clean. Oh, we think it's very clean. It is very clean. You could probably wipe that out just fine. But we're going to throw some tape on it because why not? We're now in rainy season. Let's get chat connected. Select live sources. There we go. Yo! And then we're going to look at this one. Ha! That's never good. That's never good. Maybe again. Nope. Nope. Can we stop it and then activate and then click that? And there it is. There we go. You know, the only thing I get at Kick is advertisements to get more viewers on Kick. This is like streaming on Twitch. This is pretty much the only thing that I would get on Twitch. Let's get this thing taped off though. And then we're gonna hand cut it and then plotter cut the slider. I think that's how we're gonna do it. There's a difference between Apex and Pro Nano. So this also goes for C2 ceramic, but Apex is a dual layer ceramic. And C2 and Pro Nano are single layer ceramics. So it's just, they managed to take 2 high quality layers of ceramic and merge them into one film. So they're all great films. They're all gonna block a lot of heat. But the benefit to going with Apex is you're gonna block out that much more heat, but you're on like the bleeding edge. What are you doing? We're tinting. Press and hold that button. Everything kicks on. Now we can roll this back up. Swipe off the top edge. Roll it the rest of the way up. And then we'll just do the same on the rear. Tape on, I'll do both. So it just helps manage dirt. It's gonna be way less necessary on your rubber seals, especially when they're new. But old rubber seals can get scuzzy. So I tinted for a lot of years without ever taping anything. It's mostly because the tapes would just kind of fall off. But my way of dealing with dirt is just washing things extra. So I like just doing this because I just, you know, every once in a while you get like a dirt line when you're tube staging. This completely eliminated that for me. And then I just did comparisons. I just taped one side and then I'd not tape the other side. And then on the ones that I didn't tape, you could still find little specks. Like a couple on the side. And when I started taping, I just never really saw it anymore. It's crazy how a Mustang in the US costs $30K and here in Spain costs $50K. A lot of that could just be importing too. I don't know where Mustangs actually get completed. But when you're shipping stuff like that, I mean, it's a big vehicle. Can add a lot to the price, but same for stuff here from overseas, depends. Do you top load or bottom load? Top load. Top load, 2-stage. It's a way I learned way early on. It's a way, or I want to learn tint, I'm not gonna lie. Well, that's good. It's good not to lie. Tint Club, I haven't used it. I have no idea. I know there's a lot of people that like it. But it kind of goes to the problem I had with Tint Depot. I'm not a fan of the branding. So if I had a customer, they're like, what film are you gonna use? And I say Tint Club. It just doesn't really go with my business. It's harder to charge premium. But there's lots of people that are just looking for tint. And for that, branding's not gonna matter near as much. They just want tint. Oh yeah, that was the other reason I came over here. The child lock is down. We did it. I can roll the windows up. Now we go back to this one. Is there a heat-resistant tint for cars? Yeah, it's called ceramic. That's about the only major interesting feature that they have. That part of tint is kind of magical. The fact that you can have a material that looks clear and the same as good quality tint, and then you can't even tell there's anything on the window, and you can just block a ton of heat. That's what's really cool. Tint doesn't really do anything else that's magical other than making your windows darker. So you look from this side, look from this side, like they look the same. The only reason tint works is because the inside of your car doesn't have a sun. Tint Club, in my experience, had a really purple look. Interesting. Oh no. Oh, come on. Oh, we got it stuck. Nah, I don't think that one's happened before. Well, oh, there we go. We got it. We did it, chat. Ever tried bottom loading? Yeah, of course. I can do it. I just like, at this point, going through 2-stage is just like second nature. So, I mean, it would take me longer to figure out how to pull the seals on this one, because that's the kind of stuff that I'm just less familiar with. Where I don't necessarily feel the need of even looking it up if I can just 2-stage it. So I keep doing that over and over again. Bottom loading is awesome though. Everybody needs to play to their strengths and recognize that there's a couple good ways of tinting And so if you bottom load, that's awesome. If you two-stage, that's awesome. Whatever good jobs that you get for your customers is awesome. You can just pull the top panel back and slide the gasket out. Appreciate that. Is this the Meta Ray-Ban? No, but you know what? Okay, so they don't stream like this. They only stream to IG for like 30 minutes. So they're not a streaming tool. But they just announced 2 new ones. An update to all the existing just glasses, and now they have a display. So sometime soon, when they have the demos, I'm gonna go check out the new display ones, but probably early next year, I'll be able to use them while I'm streaming. But not for streaming. I'm gonna be using them so I can read chat easier. Put a display on my face. That's what I want. What glasses are you using? These. I'm using these glasses right now. They're just a pair of Oakleys. And then you can stream on the new Metavision Pro V2s. I wish. Man, that'd make my life so much easier if I could just stream on them. Oh, how are you streaming? Yeah, this. I just got an iPhone and a neck mount. Is it a little obnoxious? Yeah. Does it look good? Yeah. Yeah, it does. Oh, I gotta check the inside seal. I've had a lot of different streaming setups. I've had a GoPro or an Osmo on my head. I've done like wireless HDMI. That was cool. This, I think, this is the most easy, lightweight setup. The only obnoxious thing is it has to be on a phone. That takes up space. Ooh, this looks kind of new. That's nice. I missed your content so much since I've been deployed. Oh, wow. Appreciate that. Where'd you get deployed to? How much for all 4 side windows in the back window? On most vehicles, it starts at $299. Do you think I could tint my own car? Absolutely. With enough supplies and patience. Anybody can learn how to tint. Not everybody has the patience for it, though. I think if I started tinting later in life, I would say, like, yeah, fuck this. But then I'd be doing something else, right? So I teach myself a lot of stuff, but I don't teach myself really many other trade skills. I learn, like, businessy stuff. Does your tint have to do a lot with your film shrinking? Sometimes. A lot of people end up going for like a less expensive carbon film when they're starting out. That can definitely make your life difficult. So if we're just talking about a door window, you can pretty much shrink any film on a door window. But on a back window, or a windshield. Film can play a big role into just how easy it is to pick up. Walk-ins or appointments? We go by appointments. Would you say a thicker film is better to practice with than a thinner film? A lot of cheap films are 1 mil. I guess that's changed a little bit more now with a lot of carbon films. Most films that you would install professionally are going to be 1.5 mil. But I learned off of a 1 mil film. First film I ever used was Lumar AT, and then they discontinued it. They had AT and ATC. AT was their 1 mil, ATC was their 1.5 mil. Is ceramic thicker? It can be, but because it's ceramic doesn't inherently make it thicker. So let's put a tack there. We'll leave the rest of it wet and we'll come back. Watch, I'm gonna install them one at a time and shrink them one at a time. And then I'm gonna forget that I didn't shrink that one. Just watch. It'll probably happen. Okay, so we need to shrink this one. Why? Okay, we don't absolutely have to. Some people are gonna chew me up in chat because I'm not gonna pull the seal out of it. But any door window that I install, I'm gonna shrink just because it's better to prevent any possible fingers from popping up versus spending half an hour trying to get the few little ones that pop up. So on a window like this, we sprayed down the whole underside and see how we can slide this around. That's good. Now we're gonna start, and basically we're gonna gather all the bulk down to here. You see these little fingers popping up? So to do that, I'm gonna start here. I'm just gonna like rainbow this that way. And I can actually try and create some fingers. So if you guys do this and you don't really see any fingers pop up, you can push inwards just a little bit. And you see how we're creating some fingers. We're making sure that we push the bulk right to the middle. Then I'm gonna take my squeegee, I'm gonna lightly sweep out some of the water. I tried doing this the other day. The second I peeled off the backing, the wind started blowing. Yeah, it's like when I hit record, everything just goes to shit. It's like, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. You peel it, oh, there it goes. Welcome to tinting. Okay, so heat gun on high, and we're gonna play a little side game called whack-a-mole. This is the most basic way of shrinking, is I see finger, I push finger down. I see finger, I shrink finger, I push finger down. So as long as there's water behind it, it's gonna shrink a little bit less. So it'll shrink some, go for the bigger ones, and then you'll notice little fingers will pop up. Those will shrink faster. But once you get those zigzags going, why don't you squeegee all the way down when you sweep out the water? You can. It just depends on how big the fingers are. So if I just squeegee down all the way and I've locked this down, this has nowhere else to go. So what can just happen is that, like, if you squeegee too hard, you're fixing that down to the window, and then you might also put a crease in it. So these little ones, I'm getting really close to the window. See that little guy? Gone. So that's all shrunk. It's ready to install. We can be a little bit more sure. So we can take this, lift it up. And you see all those little wobbles in it? That's where we shrunk. Take a card, 1, 2. And you can see where we shrunk also keeps it lifted off the window. So if we want to be extra sure this is going to lay flat, run that right along the bottom. Ta-da! That's all ready to go. Do you double shrink often or usually stick with the first time? So this is the way that I typically shrink. Coming right over to this window. I'm really just gonna sweep most of the water out. And you'll notice I haven't really collected anything to the bottom. But I wanna get the curve. So to snap shrink, I'm gonna lift this off the corner. Little rule of thumb here, keep your knuckles kind of against the pillar because you don't wanna just take it and lift it off. You're just using some tension, pulling it straight across, and you leave it still anchored. So it's about like 3 or 4 inches away from the side there, still anchored, not lifting it off the glass. We're just taking this lower part, turn your heat gun all the way up, leave it on high, and then I'm just going to point it right towards the bottom, and it'll just start to curl inwards. It's not gonna take a lot of time, but that's shrunk. So what we did is we took all that, and by lifting it, it shrinks way faster, and it goes, it just right to the window. So that's all shrunk, ready to install. But it's harder to understand shrinking if you just start with that, even though it's quicker and less steps. You don't really necessarily know what you're looking for. So it's good to start with this way and then set that up. I thought tint went on the inside. I did too, but your comment just made me question everything, so. This has some shine. Oh, this has some, I should have tried to wipe that off first. We're gonna slice this off. This actually isn't gonna stick very well on this one yet. We should probably take this. I wonder if we can save it and just set this down here for a sec. No! And then that's when it grabs and, hey, maybe. I probably screwed it up. The panel has a lot of dressing on it, like greasy. Nothing's gonna stick to that. So I'm gonna see if this will touch it up just a little bit. It's probably Armor-All, I agree. Now that's more flat. But we'll see if I screwed up this piece. Maybe, maybe not. Did we do it? Right here. It's the only thing about having it peeled. Oh, we might have had it. Da, 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 da. Might be good enough. I should have saw that ahead of time, though. Yeah, it might work good enough for this one. It doesn't like this, though, right now. I'll take it. If you make sure that the panel's wiped off, it does a good job of just sticking, but yeah, you can get it flipped. It's crazy. My fave tinter never answers my questions. What was the question? Thank you for the gifts. Why is the tape blue now? Because we made it stronger. So the white version never stuck quite as well as I wanted. This is more aggressive. Okay, so I gotta make sure that we ran all our water through from yesterday, and we'll jump right into installing this one. Our blades are hard to pick up on those mats. Yeah, we just leave them. Let's roll this up. Would you hire me? Dude, I don't know you. So yeah, absolutely. Why not? You can take over. You can do this car. I'm gonna go home. I'm serious. I watched you enough, I think. That sounds pretty confident. I think. Well, I think yeah. I think. Do you think an untrained person can learn this and accomplish great results? I don't think anybody's born knowing how to tint. So everybody that has learned has not known how to do it. But like, can somebody brand new to it accomplish great results? Is probably the question. Maybe. Not usually, but maybe. Everybody's different. So we're gonna squeegee this off. And then we swipe the edges down. Tack this top. And we're gonna peel it. There we go. Nathan's my neighbor. He's a bit mad at me at the moment. My dog crept in his yard, and I purposefully did not clean it. Did you guys see that video where the dog pooped in the neighbor's yard, and then the neighbor scooped it up and threw it at like his Tahoe? It was great. It just completely stuck. Look it up. That's your homework. This is your tint homework today. Is there a clear tint that blocks heat for the front windows? Yes. Ceramic films are what you're going to be looking for. We're installing, this one's not clear, but this one is GeoShield's best, called Apex. My greatest problem is the top. It doesn't stick. Could be a soap issue. Scary to do a two-stage. No, it's not. It is not. I just started out doing tint, but I can't figure out how to get bubbles out when it's already on. The way to get bubbles out when it's on is to take the tint off and try again. Unfortunately. So we're doing a lot to make sure that we don't get bubbles in the tint. So these are air pockets that are encased in water. Those push out. If I have little specks of dirt, that buries itself in the glue and that never comes out. So most new people trap lots of dirt and creases in the film because they're new and learning how to tint is annoying. There we go. And then squeegee out the rest of this. So see how these bubbles, when we get really close, see how those like sweep out? You're always gonna leave some water behind. So if you use a harder squeegee, push a little harder, you can get a lot of the water out. But if you run your hand over it and it feels bumpy, then it's a dirt problem. And that's usually what most of your problems are. How do I convince my manager to make the switch to GeoShield? I don't know. What film is he using right now? I'll tell you. Switching films is typically like I have a problem with the film that I'm using. If you don't really have a problem with the film that you're using, there's honestly not really much of a point to switch. It's kind of a pain in the butt. 3M? You could simply tell him he's gonna save a bunch more money. That's usually the main thing. Tell him to maybe keep track of how many people are coming in specifically because he's 3M. I mean, it might be a bad idea to switch. If you're using that brand and it's working for you, then paying premiums on film is perfectly fine. The film is working for you. If you're just paying extra for a brand and the brand isn't bringing in extra customers and you're having a hard time selling, the brand's not working for you. And you need to just find a film that's gonna last that doesn't cost as much, because what's the point? How can I buy a roll of tints and practicing with Amazon Tint on my car? Oh, I'm currently practicing. Here, let me scooch some stuff out of the way. I'll guide you. I will guide you. So you can go, and then you click on this one. And then here are all your options. We're currently using this one. And we're doing, the roll we've been using has been this one. And then we're about to do 5%. Can you carry just one line of film? Yeah, absolutely. You can run your business however you want. But the value in carrying another one is that you can do the same amount of work and make more money by offering a more premium film that has better benefits. I mean, most businesses don't just have a one-tier flat option. They always have like upsells and upgrades and Are those pre-cuts? I mean, I'm pre-cutting it for install right now. This is 5. Do you like your job? Yeah, I literally made it like this. To be honest, I don't like running the tint business portion of it, but I love everything else that's around it. I still want to know why you don't like XPEL. XPEL has great programs. They have great products. Their products aren't any better than what we're using now. But they're just they did a couple of things that I don't really appreciate. There are a lot of people, like they had awesome software, referred a lot of people over to try their software. There are people that signed up, but because they didn't grow enough, they got kicked out of their program. So as the company grew, they used them as a stepping stool, and I don't like that. But their products aren't better. They're just better at branding and better at growing a bigger business. But those films come at a steep cost. So again, if the brand works for you, use the brand. If the brand is not working for you, what's the point in paying twice as much for film for the same type of product? I don't get that. I would have scratched the heck out of the door with those cuts. It's a good thing that we practice. So we're gonna roll this down just a couple inches. And you just cut to the edge instead of tucking it. You can do whatever you want, but you might have an ugly gap on the sides. Glass has a thickness to it. So when I'm staring through my window, I'm actually staring through to like, not directly at this edge, but through it a little farther to the little edge over here. So if you cut it exact, you're gonna see a gap on the sides. It's annoying. I wish you didn't have to shift it. Is the ceramic a better chive? Chive. Choice. Ah, I was trying to figure it out. I knew we weren't talking cooking, but maybe throw some chives in your ceramic. Ceramic's the best choice for window film, but you can still get a nice tint job without using ceramic. Ceramic is just an additive for heat. Ceramic doesn't make your tint into like anything magical other than a heat blocking machine, which is cool. Like, it's great. I love driving with it. But if like, hey, dude, I just want like dark windows. I just don't want to be seen. There's other materials that you can pick from. Are you gonna get into tint battles? Oh yeah. It's coming in January. And you know what? It's in January, and I'm stuck in the north, so maybe. It would be nice to take a trip down there. I don't know what else we do in Houston, but it'd be nice. You know, I wanted to go to SEMA. We're going to Japan instead, so I will not be going to SEMA this year either. But like I say every year, maybe next year. We could get a beer. Have you worked with Wagon Guy? He sent me a couple custom knives. I'd like to, I think it's over with all the display stuff. It was really cool though. Really nice guy. What percent is factory tint typically? Good question. Typically it's 20. Okay, this is wrong. Hang on. I think this is upside down, but what I don't know is this for the right, is this for the right one? I don't remember. Here goes my investor. No. No. I wouldn't do an investor. I just saw a couple little boobles right at the bottom that I almost missed. We don't want that. Much better. Clean. Very clean. Okay, so which side am I looking at right now? I can probably figure this out. Okay, it's got to be this one. All right? But we can double check by taking this and checking. Ah, no. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad I figured this out. Okay, so this is the other side. See, I cut them out basically like a square, and then I lost track of my sides. This one is this for the other side. So we'll swap them. Bippity boppity. Ta-da! Look at how well that pattern fits on there. It's great. And then this one we gotta flip upside down. And then we'll have figured out the puzzle. Have you ever tried Rogue? No. It goes on the inside. What? Bullshit. That's crazy talk, my guy. That's crazy. Oh, I did flip it. That's why I'm confused. There we go. Okay, now we gotta shrink this, right? We gotta shrink this puppy. No. No, that's not right. And then fuck this pattern. This is black magic, I swear to God. This is so funny. All right, that's it. That's it. Well, we're never gonna do that again. All right, let's shrink this. I forgot coming back over to this side. I didn't swap. I didn't flip it. I'm stupid. Do you know what you're doing? No, not really. I'm just trying to figure it out today. This is my first day. Yeah, no shit. How would you recommend removing 8-year-old windshield film? Steamer. Steamer's gonna help out the most. On a windshield, you can use soapy water and razor blades, though. That's gonna be your last resort. You still might need them, though, but I would try to steam it off first. Why don't you bottom feed and there's no shrinking? Oh, ignore everything that just happened. I flipped my patterns when I went to trim corners and stuff. And so I initially grabbed the wrong pattern and brought it over to that side of the truck. I didn't realize that because it's basically a square. So I was just trying to figure out what the square, which direction is up. We got there. Why didn't you cut on the round bottom? Because you don't, you can, because the seal comes up with it, but we can also just like leave it flat. I was just trying to tuck it a little bit more. That's all. Quick question. I will try and give you an extra long answer. Do you know about bottom feeding? I've never heard of it. And the truck's off. We're having fun today. Don't fall, don't fall. It's way easier than shrinking it. I mean, it's different. I think easier is subjective. Because if you've been tinting without removing seals for a long time, like everybody's different. I've pulled seals, I've bottom loaded. I just always come back to this. So, it's cool. And a lot of people do it. I'd say whatever you want to do is the way to do it. All right, so we're gonna squeegee this off, top to bottom. We're gonna swipe these sides. And we're gonna flush these. And then let's peel it. We're going halfway. Spray that down. Gonna bring this around. No need to clean the inside if the tint stays on the outside. That's true. Trash bag method or steamer for rear window defrosters. I mean, if you got nice hot weather, you probably have a trash bag. You could go try that first. Trash bag in soapy water is just like a steamer. You're literally steaming it. You just need hot weather. You make two-stage look so easy. Because it is. Now, if you do it for, see, that's what I mean. If you do this for long enough, that's why I don't see a point for, like, me going out of my way to bottom load. But I will encourage people to bottom load all day long, even though it's not what I do. It just, if you want to make it the installation portion as simple as possible, remove the seal. Makes it far easier. Like none of this like 500 step bullshit. annoying. Tuck here, move here, slide the, like, it's just annoying. But if it's all you've known for many years, you do this without really thinking about it. It's just like, oh yeah, this is just the way of life. I have to think extra hard about removing seals and then putting the seals back in. So I'd rather just do this. I continue to have contaminant issues. I clean the edge seals. I use the razor to clean. I spray the area, and the contaminants fucking find their way back. I know, it drives you crazy. I totally get it. The problem is your installation. It really doesn't have as much to do with your cleaning. I know I see dirt that's gotta come from dirt. How does it happen? It'll continue to happen. You could clean the window 100,000 times and still get a completely filthy window. Dirt's magic. Dirt will just keep popping up in your window. Focus on making your installation smoother, and then dirt will happen less and less. Why not shut the door latch and shut the, or why not trip the door latch and shut the annoying, why not shut the hell up? What sound? It's the tunes. We're listening to the Chevy tunes today. We won't get a DMCA strike for that. I've been tinting for some years now, family whips. How can I get in the shop? You just gotta bite the bullet. You just gotta do it. You gotta put more time into booking more people and taking it more seriously. Because it's just a volume. It's like, how do I get it? It's like, well, you gotta figure out how to just pay for it, and so do something that continues to earn money while you finance your shop. Whether that be tinting for somebody, or no, that's not right. Whether it means like tinting mobile for a period of time, it's like you got to do something to start gaining more and more clients. So the way that I got into the shop was like 1 foot in one door and 1 foot in the other door. So I had been tinting for a very long time before I got a shop. And I don't recommend everybody do that. I just didn't really want a shop. There's things I hate about having a shop. But I like doing this. So in order to continue doing this, I needed to actually get a shop and do that whole fun stuff. But I was tinting for other companies. And so I finally said, fuck it. And I ended up getting this space. But I was still doing a few mobile accounts. So I was tinting for 2 other companies. Each company had 2 days a week. And then as I got appointments, I would just take days off of those shops. And then before you know it, I was getting more appointments. And then I basically treated this shop as another mobile account. Made it a lot easier, but it wasn't just a seamless transition, but it helped a lot. What CRM do you use? We have our own called Tintly. We're working on some pretty sick calendar improvements though. Pretty soon we're gonna have a tool that everybody can use to make booking appointments cheap and easy. Your sound is gone. No, it's not. Or at least it shouldn't be. Oh, I'm gonna see if I can ban somebody from here. Can I do this? I don't think so. Delete message. Can anybody use your CRM? Yeah. So if you look up Tintly, that's what we're using right now. And then here, real quick. This is what I don't know how soon this is going to be available. Okay, one more thing. What are we doing? We're scraping windows, taking that. I got sprayer over there. So like this is going to be our calendar app, which is going to be really easy to schedule and take deposits. So if I want to do a new appointment, I could either click on the day that I want right from here, right, and click schedule an appointment. So this is going to get front doors, and we're going to fill out vehicle information. And then what I like most about this is super easy to send a SMS deposit request. So if I click this button, whoever I fill the information out for, it's going to send them just a quick text, and then they're going to get something like this. They click on this, and then on their phone, look, I can just pay a deposit, super easy peasy, and then it puts me on the schedule. That's going to be Tintly Calendar. It's basically like our watered down version of the main suite, but it does things that the main suite doesn't do. So right now, like the way that I handle appointments and everything is through a bigger program. And we have like an auto messaging service. So as people fill out lead forms, they want to know, hey, how much is my car to get tinted? It's going to ask, hey, what car, these are the films that we have. What would you be interested in getting? And then it'll schedule their appointment right from there. All right, so back to tinting. We're going to scrape this window off. We'll have more about the program soon enough, once it's actually out of like beta and building. We'll be able to let people try it out, but it's going to be free to use. Are you going to charge you to use it like TintWiz? It's going to be a lot cheaper than TintWiz is. I got to make sure this line is empty. It's obviously going to have a little like usage limitation there. Because it's not free to run. But yeah, you'll see. It'll be pretty damn cool right off the bat. Really easy to get started with. It's cool. I need an app like that for my landscaping business. Yeah, it'd be pretty good for something like that too. It's got vehicle fields. So that might make it less ideal for that. There's no reason we couldn't tweak it though. All right, let's peel this, pull this down. We got a Chevy Tahoe tinted. I did 15 all around, 50 on the windshield. The interior is brown. Yeah, 15 over the factory is going to bring it down to 5. If you want dark, doing like and nobody to see in, and you have anything but a black interior, you really have to bring it down to like a 5% level. I have a problem with the film sticking way too fast. Yeah, I used to have that problem. Depends on the film. That's a major reason why I'm using tint slip. Geo films are really tacky. I didn't like baby shampoo when I switched to Geo. I had a little brief moment where I was using Avery, and Avery had a film called NR Pro, and they had a film then called NR. For whatever reason, when they came out with NR, they used a different adhesive, and it was way sticky. Didn't matter how much baby shampoo that I added, it was just really sticky. So tint slip was a big help for that. Peel this, and then we're gonna rinse underneath it. Yeah, black interiors are gonna, like, okay, so this is why tint does what it does. Tint's not really magic. It's the same on the outside as it is on the inside, but all the light, our light source is typically on the outside of the vehicle. So once we close up all the doors and tint all the windows, the interior looks that much darker because we're blocking out a lot of light from reflecting off of the interior. So if you have anything but black seats, your seat color usually shines through a little bit more. So your interior color gives you an illusion that your film is sometimes darker than it actually is, unless you have a lighter interior color. So tan, brown, gray, all those reflect a little bit more light. Wipe that off, we'll pull the tape strips. Can cars be tinted without shrinking? On the door windows, it depends on the model. But if you pull the bottom seals, then you don't have to shrink as much. Where's all the water go? It goes back to the ocean. So this shade right here is 20. But even now, it looks a little bit darker, but okay, if I'm looking straight through to that glass board, you can see the outline of the seat. But if I'm looking to the seat, that's really dark. But if I open this up and I'm looking outside, whoa, that's so light. Because all my light source, brightness, that's all outside the vehicle. As soon as I take this and I start closing up all my doors, that then is enclosed. But if I sit here and I look through to the windshield, that's gonna look lighter. If I go here and I look to the seats, that's gonna look darker. Did I wipe this off? No, I didn't. I can tell. I can tell. Reflective tint is expensive. You can little bit more. I guess it depends. Architectural film you could put on a car though. That'll give you some reflectiveness to it. Most auto films, the vast majority of them are not made to be reflective because most people don't want reflective. We're going with 20 on the front, and then we did 5 over the factory on the rear. So the rear is actually going to be quite a bit darker than these front doors are. Angel with the 5. What up, though? What's up, man? Thank you. Coming in consistently with the 5. You don't have to do that, but I definitely appreciate it. Apex 70 versus Pro Nano 70. Okay, this is a loaded topic. Apex 70. I wish there was like a PSA I could do for everybody on this one. Get Pro Nano 70. Pro Nano 70, specifically 70, is basically Apex 70 as far as performance goes. The reason is because Pro Nano has been around for a long time. And for whatever reason, a lot of companies would have a 70, an 80, a 90% that would traditionally outperform everything. They would just have a clear, high heat rejection windshield film. But they kept that outside of the Apex, they kept Pro Nano 70 separate for a long time, and they called it Pro Nano Ultra. But everybody was confused, like, hey, why is this, what's it mean, Ultra? And when I look at Pro Nano, where's the 70%? So they combined them into one cohesive film, but the Pro Nano 70 blocks slightly more than the Apex 70. The key's in sleep mode. Wake up, damn you. Because I've been talking too long. I bored the shit out of it. It's like, I'm out. We just finished making a BMW X5 competition, 2 windows and a Mercedes complete with no windshield. Nice. Sounds like a cool day. Do you have a battery jumper in case the battery dies? Yes, absolutely. You know, for a long time, longer than I'd like to admit, I just didn't feel like going to buy one. And then occasionally I would have a battery die. And then I'd just jump it with my car. Don't do that, get a battery jumper. What type of towels? We have some gray Eagle Edgeless from the Rag Company. I used to use, like you'll see the yellow ones floating around. I used to use nothing but the yellow ones for a long time. Going back to using them here and there, they leave so much more fibers behind. It's hard to beat the pack for the money, but we just have some Eagle Edgeless and then these purple ones. Those are really nice. We use those just like to help clean up the glass afterwards. So we're gonna peel this, pull that down. Pick this up. I'm doing my own tint on my van windows. It's not going great. Man, I feel that. I'm sorry to hear that, but I know what that's like. I mean, shit, I've been tinting for a long time, and I'll have days that just go to absolute shit on the stream. I mean, I just spent probably like 2 years trying to figure out which window was for the back window, and I cut them out myself. What's up with that? I want to start tinting, but I don't know what film to get. A good one to just like, hey, I want to get a roll. It's all gonna go in the garbage anyways, because that's what it takes to learn. So a lot of it's just wasted material. There's a film on Amazon called T-View. I have no affiliate with them. It's just a good practice film. It's like $100 for a roll. It's really hard to beat that. Anything that you're gonna install for customers is pretty much gonna be like a couple $100 and up for like a full-size roll. Still got a little wiggle. We'll let that tack up. Press a little more water out. It's a difference on carbon and ceramic. It's just gonna be, the amount of heat that they block out. Carbon will block out some heat. It blocks out more heat in darker percentages. And ceramic films block out more heat than carbon, and they'll do it in light percentages and dark percentages. So if you're like, hey, I want to block heat, but I don't want to have a super dark look, ceramic is a great option. Lets you do like shades like 70% if you want to go that light on your windshield, then you'll feel a dramatic difference. This, we're not actually even doing the windshield, and we're doing our best ceramic on all the sides and the rear. Thank you for the dolphin. I don't know where I'm going to keep them, but thank you. And the rose, and the paper crane. How can I get your tools to Europe? I wish I had a better answer for that. We just don't do international other than Canada right now. Maybe if we did a lot more volume here, we would. This is Detroit Tint Studio in Sterling Heights. Could you ship APO? I don't even know what that means. Like, we have tools that we can use. I don't want to get into too much international, but you just have shipping times, cost, customs, and if something happens, oh, military bases overseas? Unfortunately, no. Sorry, like, we've tried it a couple times. It just generally becomes a pain in the butt. I mean, we have all this tariff shit going on now, too. I wish it was as simple as customer orders, I click send, we send. But a lot of stuff can happen in between here and there that people start getting angry at us for when it takes too long, when the shipping cost gets more expensive, when they get a surprise VAT charge. So it just started stirring up a lot of problems that we don't want to deal with. Okay, so we got this back window to do. All the side and rear are done. This is probably my favorite slider to do out of the big three. I mean, Ford's great too, but this is out of my way. I got all the room to work with in the world there. We're gonna pop the headrest and we're gonna print it out. And the main reason I'm gonna do that is because screw this. You can roll them up, but they still get in your way when you're trying to cut them. If you got a plotter, use it when it's tedious to cut something. Have you used Tint Depot film? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're cool. They were a channel sponsor for a long time when we were doing that. We just kind of outgrew sponsorships, but Tint Depot has an interesting issue. They have reverse branding. So they have good products that will definitely last. They're just under a Tint Depot brand. So that's why they came out with their high-tech brand. More professional automotive window film brand. Do you start in the middle and work outwards like in a driver's window? Yeah. Yeah, typically that's how it goes. It is mine. It's my shop. Okay, so this is a Silverado. So we're gonna bring it up close. So we'll go to vehicles. And then these are all the ones that we've done recently. We just did a Volvo last week, an Odyssey, an Equinox, an F-150, Sienna, Maverick. So 2025, and then we're gonna go to Chevy and Silverado. It's been like this for a long time. Nothing's changed. We're just gonna skip right to the back window. Click on this. This is gonna give us a few options. Since we're doing the power slider, oh wow, there's actually two. So if it comes to this type of choice, this has been cut out 78,000 times versus this one that's been cut out almost 7,000 times. So it's most likely going to be this one. Click add. Go to our cut board. This is a 24-inch roll. We can take this, break it apart, and we can stack them. I could get a 36, but I'm just a touch lazy for that right now. I don't even know if a 36 would fit. I think it would. Oh yeah, I could get a 36-inch roll and just slot that in there. But I'm just gonna stick with this. That's fine. All right, let's make sure this is cutting right. So we have our apex blade in here. Conditions are set. This is good. As soon as we click cut, we will cut. This is core. More with core. They're gonna charge you more with core. But yeah, whenever it's tedious to cut out a back window or doors for any window, it's just, this is a really straightforward cut. This is like a quarter window. It's just annoying to get to. So to get to this, I can shine a light on the inside of the window or I can glass aid it. But I gotta roll this up, jump in the back of the truck, put a piece of film. When you roll this up, it'll often stick up about that much. So it just makes it more annoying and tedious to try and cut those out by hand when, oh, look, they're done. So kind of hard to not do that. Where plotters usually let me down more often than not is going to be the top edges of door windows. But Core has been really good. Piece of liner, silver Sharpie, trace on the inside. You know what? I don't know why I keep forgetting that. But that's a really smart way of doing it. You're absolutely right. That would definitely save time versus everything that I just said. We should probably do that sometime. I guess I just gotta dig one of these out. So next time I'll try and remember that. And then I'll forget. And then the next time I'll try and remember that. But one of these times I'll remember that and we'll do that. I used to cut them completely on the inside. I wouldn't say I ever got like super clean, like plotter perfect edges. But for the longest time, I would take a, you know, if it was just a non-slider, I'd just take a long piece of film, peel it, throw it on the inside, and trim out the edges. I got used to doing that. And then I'd often do that with the smaller ones too. I just butt it up towards the edges and hand trim it on the inside. So I'd even skip that step. But for your average person doing these, okay, this is gonna be for the drivers. Not thinking out of the box. I'd jump in there in the back. Tonneau cover's always in the way. It'd drive me crazy. Broke my first windshield tinting on Saturday. Ooh, that sucks. Was it an F-150? How much did the setup cost with the plotter? There's a lot of different plotters. That's an FC9000. That machine is about as overkill as you can get. That one is like 7,500, especially because of the size. I wouldn't typically get a machine that large. Have you ever thought about getting the eyeglasses that record? Yeah, but you can't stream off of them. So they don't help this situation right now. I gotta get prescriptions though. So I bought a pair. The new one coming out, you can. No, like they'll all stream for 30 minutes to Instagram, but that's all they'll do. It's just to Instagram. You guys aren't on Instagram right now. Yeah, I saw. I'm excited for the display ones. I will be buying, probably, a pair of the displays. And when it's available, I'm going to take chat and I'm going to put you on my glasses. So then I can look this way and know what you fuckers are saying. That's all I want to do. Let me put chat in the most convenient place possible. That's why I have 2 big TVs. Because it made it easier to do that kind of stuff. Okay, so this is the passenger side. We're going to clean off the quarter. But I'm just gonna say this, they currently do not have a way to read chat. You gotta use Facebook app, so, I mean, I suppose maybe I could have a WhatsApp channel and have people type in all my comments. And I could read them that way. Ooh, maybe I could do that. Maybe I could link chat somehow to WhatsApp. But in the beginning, all the meta stuff is just gonna have Facebook apps. and that's less fun. I should have just peeled this in the truck. Now I gotta get up. I gotta get up. With one arm. There we go. Looks good. I like it. What cutting software? I used Core. Let's go grab another paddle. Yeah, this is limo, and we're doing limo over factory right now. Yeah, it's kind of hard to beat plotting out sliders. It's just far easier and faster. Give them a little sweep, dust them off, and then it's ready to go. Line this up nice and straight. See, the other thing I actually really like about plotted sliders is you can still see the edges of the tint. So, like on a regular back window, you don't necessarily have to keep your cuts perfectly straight because they're very hard to see the edges. But on a slider, you just open up the door, and when you're outside, you can see these edges a lot easier. So a plotter is going to do a perfect outline, way straighter than you can just do by hand in way less time. So I honestly think it's better to really just plot those out. So that's 2. Let's go for number 3. What are you live streaming from? A phone. Tint in my back. 2 back windows with 5% ceramic tint X, but it kind of looks orange in the daylight. Every film is going to have a different hue to it. Some are stronger than others. That's never fun. It should just look good. Okay, what do we do? Oh, I'm gonna hold this here. Hang on. All right, let's scrubby dub this one. Why do you do hand cut everything when using the plotter is faster? So when it comes to doors, I know the exact pattern I'm gonna get. And when I roll this window down, the top edge is where a lot of software is kind of mediocre. So if they cut them this good every time for doors, I'd never be hand cutting again. But because there's a lot of mediocre patterns out there, but they've gotten better, depends on the software. I've liked Core a lot. The more I use it, the more I like it. It's not always perfect, but like if one window out of like 10 is mediocre, I'm not going to be upset about that. It's when the majority of them are just like, that was a waste of time to do that. But for whatever reason, on back windows, like back windows, quarter windows are usually fine with like most softwares. There's less variance and variety with back windows. How'd you do a Dodge Charger back window? I've got a lot of videos if you just look it up. Any experience with CarPro Immortal? No, the only experience that I have with CarPro is their the blue juice eraser, CarPro eraser. It smells good, and this stuff works as a great glass cleaner. That's as much as CarPro stuff as I've ever looked into. This goes for like a lot of different product companies that are something other than a film company. You know that they're not making their film. They're going to somebody that makes it. So I just haven't looked into them. I don't know who produces their film. But there's only so many good manufacturers out there. So that's why we tend to just like write a lot of that stuff off. It's probably fine. I just haven't seen it. Thoughts on Max Pro Cool IR? Any of the Max Pro stuff I saw was kind of green. I tested some of their stuff, but it's been a while since I've looked at it. I haven't heard anything bad said about Max Pro in a while. They used to be like one of the major film brands to stay away from. Oh, I say like main film brands that you would hear. Like a lot of people had problems with Max Pro years ago. But we have a really big Facebook group. Unfortunately, it's on Facebook. If you search like window tint -313tint.com, you'll find the group. You can ask in there. There's going to be people that are actually using those films that could tell you how they like them. I could watch this all day long. Thank you. I appreciate it. Expel XR. Good film. More expensive. It's not going to be any better than this, and it's going to cost more. You know, I shouldn't have put that. I shouldn't have put the... Keep this one out, because we still have touch-ups. Is a Vivor plotter any good? I hear some people got it to work. But it's going to be really mediocre. Like it might work fine enough for what you need it to do. When you're cutting out tint, the problem is the backing. Like a plotter is not necessarily made to cut out window film. Plotters can cut out vinyl because you have a really thick backing material. Tint, you want to cut through the tint, but you don't want to cut through this thin-ass liner. So you have to take the time to dial it in, and it could be as simple as, oh, the machine's just like offset a millimeter, and then it just doesn't cut clean. Do you what, heat after install? The only things that I heat up is I'm looking for the little pinch marks. So like right here, we'll get close and we'll let you take a look. See, there's one there, and there's a little line right here too. So we're gonna put some heat, dry those out, and make them completely invisible. Did I see you have a Fusion Blue Max in the other stream? Dude, we've gone so Blue Max is crazy. Blue Max is in this one. Blue Max is in this one. Blue Max is in this one. It's that good. I like it better than any of the other squeegees right now, and I don't know if I'm going to go back to any of the other ones. So, it's going to be... Excuse me. See, it's gone already. And now this one, we're just drying it out. Problem is, I'm trying to like show... Oh, maybe we can stretch around here so you guys can see while I do this. Push the edge. And there, it's completely gone. And then we'll go check the other side. It's hard to stretch around the phone to do that. Like, you guys are right here, I don't want to bump you. So you can push this out of the way. We just need to dry this. It'll take a little bit of time. We'll check this side. I don't see anything along here. That all looks good. Yep, there's that one gone. We'll hop on the other side, sweep the water out, and finish this up. Oh, that took care of like 90% of it. Got a little guy right there. Did they make a revision to the OG Blue Max? Yeah. And it's got a bit of a story. So there was, from what I understand, there was the original guy that invented the Blue Max years and years ago. At some point, he passed away, and his family kept the Blue Max going. And then somewhere along the line, they stopped producing the Blue Max. And it was hard to get in touch with any members of the family. But Fusion ended up buying the rights to the Blue Max, and so they've reproduced it. But I only found this out as soon as I got them. This is not the same. I'd have to... I don't know if I still have an OG Blue Max laying around. But if you've ever used the... What's it called? The Blue Beast? I'd say the Blue Beast is a lot more like the OG Blue Max than the new Blue Max. So this is going to be the new Max, even though it's the Blue Max. This is the new Blue Max. This is a lot similar to, it's not the same, but it's a lot similar to like a hybrid. Like, yeah, like the Blue Beast, I didn't care for that one either. My brother really likes that squeegee. It's an injection molded hard squeegee. It's just not quite for me. So when they said that they had the Blue Max coming back out, I had used the Blue Max for a long time before other Fusion squeegees, and I like other Fusion squeegees better. But now, their revision is basically like, if I had a mildly harder version of the hybrid, the material's still a little different too. It's hard to describe compared to the hybrid, But that's the vibes I get. Like if I had a slightly slicker, harder, cropped hybrid, then you got the Blue Max. We have what I believe is the OG Blue Max in the shop, and the material on them is much better. The Blue Beast, the new material I think is way too stiff. You should pick up the new Blue Max, and then let me know what you think. But I wouldn't buy the new Blue Max thinking it's like the old Blue Max. I feel like I've got one laying around somewhere around here, but it'd take me a while to dig it up. Like, I don't think it's even in these drawers. No. These were fake Blue Maxes. These were not actually Blue Maxes. How often do you replace your squeegees? Whenever they wear out. That's been another highlight for this. Is like usually by now, I seem to have a little nick. Like so you can see like a slight amount of wear, but I'm not getting drag marks yet. This is the edge this is the spot that always goes over a top edge for me. Like so if I'm squeegeeing off a window, I'm putting a little line somewhere in here. And I just don't have that quite yet. I'll definitely try it. I love the blue side of the hybrid. Then I think you'll really like this squeegee blade. I feel like it's going to be their most popular squeegee yet. It's just, you have the heritage of the Blue Max, so I want to know. I feel like the Blue Max, the actual Blue Max had a different material. It was a little harder, but it's been a while. Would you recommend starting to work for a tint company, or should I take classes? I mean, not everybody can start with a tint company. A lot of them are independent. It's definitely worth... Oops, I pulled the wrong thing. It's definitely worth seeing if a shop will teach you. Doesn't hurt to ask. Most they're going to do is say no. Or the worst. So it's definitely worth going in and asking, get some training that way. But a lot of shops aren't too keen on wanting to teach people from the ground up, unless there's some sort of like, you know, you're definitely gonna stick around, because then they're just teaching you, and then you're gonna go start your own thing. And they'll have a lot more money in training you. Than you actually helping them make money. Until you're good. And then that's when you're like, well, fuck this place. I'm going to go work for myself. So it's a tough road. Well, that's why a lot of people end up taking classes too. What software? Core. I was trying out Computer Cut, and I have both of them loaded up on here. I keep using Core. I like it better. Now, knowing that Fusion owns Blue Max, I don't even see why they made the Blue Beast. I agree. I think what happened is they wanted Blue Max for a long time, and nobody could get in touch with the owners of Blue Max, so they ended up going ahead and making the Blue Beast, and now they have the Blue Beast, and then they got ownership over Blue Max. So most likely what's happened, but I'm just speculating. Does Core work for the workhorse plotters? It should on Windows, not on Mac. The shop setup is clean. Thank you. I appreciate that. What software do you recommend if I can't get Core? Computer Cut. It's unfortunately far uglier. I'll show you quick though. Did I put There we go. I didn't put the icon on the desktop, but we're gonna load it up. Damn it, we'll look at it. You can get a 30-day trial of this, like, within minutes, though. So if you want to try it for yourself, by all means. Registration. Oh, no, am I at the end of my trial? Ah, it's already been a month. Can I close this for a minute? Automotive window tint. It's probably going to say I'm locked out, but I'll try and bring it up anyways. My trial has already expired. 2026 BMW 3 Series 4-door, all trim. Watch, it's going to not bring anything up. Or will it and maybe not let me cut it? Registration. Yeah, I don't think it's going to bring anything up. Oh, that's a bummer. Okay. Well, this is what core looks like. Computer cut just looks super outdated. Patterns were pretty good overall. There were a few times that I liked core patterns better, but I wasn't trying it every day, apples to apples, but on a few vehicles I would do this side on core, that side on computer cut. So, wow. What a wonderful thing that was. How much better is Pro Classic compared to T-View? Pro Classic is definitely better than T-View, for sure. I wish I could block people. Delete. Block user. Oh, I can. There it goes. I wonder if it actually blocked it off platform, too. How'd you use the stream with your GoPro 8? With the GoPro... Ooh, it's a loaded question. With the GoPro, I streamed with a HDMI cable. So I went GoPro to an HDMI transmitter right to the computer. But you could do a GoPro and do a service like Restream, and then use their RTMP link and go directly to this, and then you can go from this directly to a bunch of different sources. So that's what we're doing right now. But instead, it's this camera phone that you see here. This goes to my computer, and then I stream here to there, and then I stream to multiple places. I know I can block them. I have a lot of things in the way though, so this isn't actually like the TikTok stream. So I don't know if I just block them in my view here, or if I actually block them on TikTok. That'd be cool if that's the case though. Do you feel like GeoShield film is as good as any other top brand? Yeah, absolutely. That's why I continue to use it. I'm not overpaying for film. So you're either utilizing a brand and paying a brand premium. So if I'm using a Lumar, if I'm using an XPEL, those films need to carry weight in order to sell jobs. And if customers that are coming into my shop that I'm quoting higher prices for don't value those brands, then there's absolutely no point in me carrying those brands. So Geo, I've been using them for a long time now. They come from the same factories that those films are going to be coming from. So I can trust the products, and I'm not overpaying for films. That was really in a nutshell, why I kept using Geo. I work in a tint shop in AL, or we use Solar Effects. Solar Effects has great films too. There's a lot of brands. Like I put Solar Effects in a similar category to Geo. They're not as known, but they're using really good films, and they're going to come from like very similar places. Should Apex Ultra be handled differently than Geo's other ceramics? A little bit. Like it's a 2 mil film. The only thing I'd suggest is when you're shrinking it, it's 2 layers of ceramic. So when you're heating it on like a windshield, just go a little slower with it and let it cool down before you cart it forward. it likes to soak up and hold heat for longer. So we want to take it and then just like get it done as fast as possible, but you just don't want to risk distorting the film at all. So go a little bit slower with it. Really good ceramic film, a little bit more affordable. Exactly, that's why I like Geo. Solar FX, Geo, High Tech. A lot of those brands are going to be in like really similar categories where they're like using really good films. They're just less known. And because of that, you're saving on material. How do you feel about the Detroit Tigers collapse recently? I got to know how the Detroit fan feels. I'm the wrong person to be asking. I just expect all our teams to suck. And then you got the Red Wings were the only cool thing around here for the longest time. Alrighty, guys, I'm gonna take off. I gotta check this customer out. It's been a pleasure. We have another one coming in tomorrow.